Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope you're having a fabulous day. Thanks so much for joining me. Well, it's release day over at the C&CT Stamp Shop. They are celebrating a brand new release called Lucky to Know You. And today I get to play with one of the items in the brand new release. This here is called the Faberge Egg. It's a two-piece die set and it is perfect for creating shaker cards. So I thought we'd shake it up a bit and create a couple shaker cards. Very easy ones, I have to tell you. Because all of the elements are in the die. Basically the die is going to stand out and do all the work for you. So I die cut it out, I layered them both together, and this is what I come up with. I have the Happy Easter, the egg portion, and then I have the outline piece, which there is not stitch detail, but dotted detail on the negative piece. So around that window there's detail, and I think that's so neat. And then you also do get a very thin frame here. If you didn't want to use the outline window piece, you could use the very thin frame and line it up. So you can see it makes a great shaker. And so now that I have one cut out with white cardstock, we're going to do the same thing with gold cardstock. And my little buddy, she's not feeling very good. We had to take her to the vet, so I'm letting her crawl all over my desk. She just wanted a little bit of love, and so we're going to create a card and she's gonna watch. Okay, this is the gold cardstock we're gonna use for that Happy Easter egg. And then these are two panels that I cut out with a stitched rectangle die. They measure 4 1/4 by 5.5 inches, and I'm gonna use the solid egg here and cut out a window. And again, once I have both of these cut out, there's detail along that window, so I think that's super neat. Now we only need well, we're going to set these aside. We're going to work on a background. I'm going to bring in some Deco foil. This Deco foil is from a previous C&CT stamp kit, but Thermal Web does sell a roll of it separately. This is called the Shattered Rainbow Shattered Glass, and I thought it'd be perfect, sparkly, fancy, Faberge Egg, and I thought it'd create a great background for my eggs. You don't have to do much. Now, if you have a laminator, you could very well use it with your foil, but I'm going to cheat a little bit and just use some stick-it adhesive. So we're going to take one piece of here, and we're going to use the paper trimmer. We're going to trim it down so it's slightly smaller than our window panel. This way we have a little room for error when we line it up. We're going to foil directly on our card base. So that's why I'm kind of going a little bit smaller than my window. We're going to trim out two pieces that are the same. So we have two stick-it adhesive pieces. And then we're going to bring in our card base. I'm going to go ahead and remove the release paper. And then I'm going to line this up in the center of my card base. And then after I have one side adhered, I'll flip it over and just remove the release paper off of the next. And then we're just going to make sure it's adhered to the card front with no air bubbles here. I'm going to bring in the bone folder and just reinforce that tacky area on the back side. Okay, now I'm going to use my craft pick, lift up a corner, and then we get to add our foil. This is super easy to do, and you don't have to fuss with letting your laminator heat up. I'm just going to line it up on the corner. I wanted more of the pinks and the purples for this card, so I lined it up, and then using my bone folder, I'm going to press really good over my card base front. And when you do this, believe it or not, there's a clear backing on your foil. It actually lifted, and that's how I knew it was adhered really well. So that's super easy peasy way to add foil. There's a little imperfection on the very bottom, but no worries. I'm going to cover that with my window. Okay, I did the same thing with my other foil, just using some bluish tones, and we're going to make a shaker. So we need to add a little glue behind our frame. After our glue's behind here, we're going to add a piece of acetate, and then I'm going to use some thin strips of foam adhesive. Now if you want to do this to be a real shaker to shake, you can use 2 layers of foam adhesive, but I didn't want my shaker card to be that wide, so I'm just using 1 layer of foam adhesive. So this is going to make my card less thick, and it's also going to make it so my gems here don't shake as much as a regular shaker card. Now these are crystal gems from Nuvo, and the largest ones in here, I was afraid were going to hit my acetate window. So I'm just flipping them over, making sure they're all right side up. Then I went ahead and added my window over the top. So that's ready to go, and it doesn't shake too much, which is good. I like the gems kind of stationary. Now to adhere my happy Easter egg, I'm using my glue sponge. Just wiping off my hands so I didn't transfer some of that glue to the top of my egg here. I'm going to line it up over my acetate. It leaves a little bit of a border around here. And I think in a close-up you'll be able to see this or the dotted detail around my egg. So I'm just going to use an acrylic block to weigh that down, and we're going to basically do the exact same thing with our second card. Add some glue, we'll add our acetate, and then we're going to add some foam adhesive behind it. And again, I'll just use one layer. But for this card, I thought we would bring in some confetti. This is some C&CT stamp rainbow confetti, I believe. Everything that I used today will be linked down below in case you guys wanted to check it out. But I thought they looked real pretty like gems. So I'm going to go ahead and add my window on top, centering it. And this one shakes a little bit more than the gems did, and that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and add my gold Easter egg over the top. If you wanted a little added dimension too, you could layer a few of these together. Maybe put some white cardstock behind it, give it a little bit more depth. But I thought there was a lot going on, and I think it kind of just stands out for itself. We'll go ahead and add our happy Easter egg here. And that is basically it, guys. Quick and easy shaker cards. With that Deco foil, you don't have to do much, especially with all those gems. And it's a pretty good size egg. Again, it's called the Faberge Egg, but you really don't have to do too much. I am going to finish it off adding some coordinating baker's twine to each one of them on the very top. And then that completes my project for today, guys. I encourage you guys to check out the C&CT Stamp website for the brand new Lucky to Know You release. Lots of fun new items out there. Thanks so much for joining me, guys. I wish you a lovely day, and we will see you again soon. Bye-bye.